Hey guys, what's going on? It's Jessie Lee. I know I'm not Betty the Bot, but I want to come on here and talk to you about a couple of quick things. So we're going to talk about the group rules really quickly and what you need to know about simple proven results, we prove it, and the empire. First and foremost, if you're not in those groups, please message whoever brought you onto this awesome team and let them know you need to be added. So in simple proven results and we prove it, those two groups are specifically designed for leads, which means anybody you add to those groups is your lead. If you've added them into that group, that makes them yours, which means anytime somebody goes under members and types that person's name, it will say added by you. That means it's your lead. That means they're safe. That means they're taken. We have a zero tolerance policy about this on the Empire, and this is really important to our business. This is why a group with over 260,000 people and counting works so well. So here's what needs to happen. When you add people into that group, which you will add all of your people into those groups, simple proven results, and we prove it, it's super important we keep those a safe environment. We do not talk to other people's leads. We refer them back, again, by going under members, typing the lead's name, and then tagging the person who added them to the group and saying, hey, so-and-so, blah, 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 can help you. This is so important and it's a non-negotiable because we will do the same thing for you when your leads are asking for sales or your leads are asking for flavors or your leads are asking for business information or whatever your leads are looking for. We'll always refer them back to you, and that's the rule. This is literally a zero tolerance policy. So what I mean by that, guys, it's really simple. If you're in there talking to leads, if you're having conversations with leads, if you're coaching leads, if you're having private talks with leads, if you're doing anything, dropping links to leads, putting your links in groups at all, doing anything that's against the group rules, here's the deal. You're not just deleted, and you don't get a second chance. You get blocked from Simple Proven Results, the customer group. You get blocked from We Prove It, the prospective promoter group, blah, blah, blah. And you get blocked from the Empire. You no longer get trained by us, okay? That's really important that you know that that is just a non-negotiable. And everything else, all you need to do is go under Simple Proven Results, check out the rules. It's really basic stuff like no links, like follow hashtags, like be positive and uplifting, like no negative talk, things like that. Really easy, really simple, but those are the rules, and that's the way the Empire is run, so follow those rules.
Hello. Sorry I'm late. Oh no, the music's on. I'm a little under the weather, and so I was sleeping, and then I missed my, I got up on time. There we go, now it's off, and it's just a whole moment. Um, I'm not sure why my oh, hold on. I'm having a little bit of a like it's it's okay. I think it's okay. That's okay. That's okay. She reminds me of someone, but I can't put my finger on it. Yeah, I'm not sure. Thanks so much for being here. I'm gonna go ahead and stream my iPad because that was the best way to do it last time. And I think I want it. Let's see if vertical is good. And if it's not, whoops. I'll put this over here. Let me see. Remove from share, screen, window. Oh, man. I'm gonna turn it sideways. Hold on. Let's try this. I know we still have some of that edging around it. Apologies. I'm not sure why it's doing that this time because it's not on my... Let me just have myself up there for a second, and I'm gonna... General settings. That's okay. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. I'm gonna add it back in. I guess it made more sense to do it like this last time, and that's why we didn't really see it. That's okay. I'm just gonna be... Oh no.
Hello, everybody. It is Jessie Lee. You can also call me Boss Lee or the People's Mentor. I'm super excited to be going over...
Whoops. Sorry. How do I get back? Why am I in settings? Ugh. There we go. Sorry.
This podcast with you simply because this is something a lot of you have been asking me about. Podcast, please, as soon as you're done here, make sure to rate it, make sure to share with a friend, make sure you write a review. That's, I'm pretty sure, how all of the rankings of this get bumped up. And so I would love for you to do that if you are enjoying this. So here's the thing. A lot of people are going to say a lot of things about you when you make a lot of money and have a lot of success. It is the inevitable. The better you get, the more people start talking about you. It's the way the world works, okay? You might not like Donald Trump, you still talk about him. You might not like whoever the celebrity of the day is, you still know who they are. So sometimes people project on you. Sometimes people have things to say. Most of the time, some of these things are not that nice. And
I'm not sure what this podcast is about. I think that it's... I mean, we're gonna have to keep listening, but it's not that long of a podcast. And again, if she gets political, my apologies. I try not to do politics on my channel, but if she goes that way, I'm probably just not gonna talk about it. Let's see. Let's go this way.
We kind of get trapped in this cycle where we're like, oh my gosh, is this...
I don't really know how true this is in terms of... Sorry, my camera. In terms of... I know that sometimes people just don't like others in positions of power. I haven't ever been like that in terms of... It's not that Jessie Lee has a lot of money. It's not that she has a lot of cars. It's not that she has Lisa Grossman pay for all of her flights and hotel rooms all over the world. Those aren't the reasons that I take issue with Jessie Lee Ward. It's mostly about how she does business, what she says in terms of how she trains people, what she's saying are good sales techniques. I've critiqued some of her sales trainings in the past. And again, she's probably never going to see this, but I don't really know how true it is that people just tear others down because they're on a pedestal. And maybe that does happen. That's not my experience, and that's not why I'm going through this podcast. We've been going through her podcast because it directly contradicts things that she is training now. And I'm not saying that you can't grow and change and decide to do something different. What she said in the past is contradicting the action she's taking now. And we've already seen some of the discrepancies in her origin story about how she started out, the basement that she was living in, which was actually the basement of her mom's house. And she was making $55,000 a year, and her rent was only $300 a month. And there's so many differences in things that she says. I take issue with that. It's one of the things I take issue with. Hey, Lynn. Oh. Oh, sorry. I don't know. Hold on. Testing. Can y'all hear me? Just let me know. Sorry. I can start it over. Okay. Okay. Okay, it's only been playing for 2 minutes. Can I just go and rewind it and have y'all let me know if the audio sounds okay? Okay. I'm gonna go ahead and play it and just let me know if y'all can hear her.
Hello, everybody. It is Jessie Lee. You can also call me Boss Lee or the People's Mentor. I'm super excited to be going over this podcast with you simply because this is something a lot of you have been asking me about. So for those of you,
can y'all hear her? Okay. Sorry about that. Thanks for your help and your patience, guys.
You don't know me, I'm a super confident woman. I know what I want. I know what I don't want. I know what I want to do. I know what I don't want to do. And that's exactly what I do with my life. So here's the thing. With being a strong, confident woman, which I hope so many of you are, if you're a woman listening to this, and if you're a man, I hope you're a strong, confident man. We kind of get bullied a little bit into things, right? So we start to lose confidence sometimes, maybe. And so I'm going to try to kind of help you through all of that by discussing the art of projection. Now, if you are enjoying this podcast, please, as soon as you're done here, make sure to rate it, make sure to share with a friend, make sure you write a review. I'm pretty sure how all of the rankings of this get bumped up. And so I would love for you to do that if you are enjoying this. So here's the thing. A lot of people are going to say a lot of things about you when you make a lot of money and have a lot of success. It is the inevitable. The better you get, the more people start talking about you. It's the way the world works, okay? You might not like Donald Trump. You still talk about him. You might not like whoever the celebrity of the day is. You still know who they are. So sometimes people project on you. Sometimes people have things to say. Most of the time, some of these things are not that nice. And we kind of get trapped in this cycle where we're like, oh my gosh, is this true? Can you believe I'm not a good leader? I'm not a good friend. I'm not a good wife. I'm not a good husband. I'm not a good, and we go on and on and on and on. And we forget that it's not about you, really. Okay, so here's what some people do. So think of the person in your head right now that doesn't like you for no reason. They're a boo-hoo Betty about you. All they do is talk poo on you, and they just won't shut up about it. Starting to annoy you, starting to kind of get under your skin a little bit, starting to make you question your confidence a little bit. By the way, stop that. Okay, and this is what's happening. People who don't like you, it's not about you.
Sometimes
I'm
it
gonna say
is.
it again. People who don't.
Sometimes it is. Sometimes it is exactly about you. And if you so separate yourself from feedback for your actions that you're not willing to change or be aware that maybe there's some problematic parts of what you're doing, you're kind of in dangerous territory at that point, and that's my opinion.
Like you, it's not about you. There's something about you that makes them insecure. There's something about you that makes them feel some type of way about themselves because they're missing something about themselves. Okay, people do this thing where they case build against people. People look at beautiful women on Instagram with beautiful bodies that may or may not be photoshopped. Who knows? Doesn't matter. And they look at them in jealousy. They look at them and they go, oh, her butt must be fake. They go, oh my gosh, yeah, well, she must be taking da-da-da. Oh, like, yeah, whatever, Photoshop. They do this case building thing where instead of saying, whoa, girlfriend definitely go, what? They tend to say negative things. They're projecting on the fact that they got cottage cheese booty. You know what I'm saying? You know what? I like cottage cheese booty just as much as I like normal booty. Booty's booty, booty's booty, booty's booty. Yet you are projecting your hatred of yourself onto other people. It's called case building. Case building, okay? Here's the fact of the matter. Those people feel guilty about themselves. Those people feel guilty about something deep down inside themselves that they
The only thing that I feel guilty about is being in multi-level marketing, and I still give some of that credit to being provided inaccurate information during my pitches when I signed up. Not necessarily in Young Living, but in Mary Kay, for sure. I was not given an accurate picture when I asked questions by the director who recruited me. And so it's twofold. It's me and it's them. It's both. That's the only thing that I honestly feel guilty about.
don't like. Those people feel some type of way about something that they don't like about themselves, their relationship, their job, their talent, their skills, or lack thereof. Okay? It's not me. It's you, boo boo. Have a seat, take a number, sit yourself down. Okay? So let's kind of go through this, right? Like when somebody says you're a bad leader, you ever heard this before?
Yes.
Immediately somebody popped into my head because she's always talking about, I think I'm a bad leader. I'm like, why? Because so-and-so said I'm a bad leader. I'm like, so-and-so who's making $8 a month is telling you you're a bad leader. So tell her to take a number, take a seat, sit herself down. Okay?
I mean, there's a difference between being able to make a lot of money and being a bad leader. I mean, I wouldn't say that the people who were part of like the Enron scandal, I wouldn't say they're good leaders. I say that they did a lot of stuff they weren't supposed to, and they made a lot of money, and they got in trouble for it. And multiple things can be true about something at the same time. You can be a bad leader, and you can make a lot of money. That's just my opinion.
Okay. Guys, bad leadership, right? Okay. When people say something like this, why don't you, instead of going, oh my gosh, am I a bad leader? Look at all the things you've done. Look at all of your accomplishments you've had. Look at the way people talk about you. Look at the way people look up to you. Look at the way people speak to you in a positive light. Okay. Not 100% of people are going to be your fan. Okay. It's not possible. Listen to the last episode of the podcast. You need haters anyway. But someone who themselves is a bad leader, somebody who doesn't have the capacity to lead themselves is telling you you're a bad leader, but we get caught up in it. We're like, I'm a bad leader. Am I a bad leader? No, you're not a bad leader. You're listening to idiots who have bad ideas about who you are. So no, you're not a bad leader. What about people who are like, you don't even help me with my sales. You don't have any, sales skills. You're just not even good at it, Jessie Lee. You're just not even good at it. I'd be like, okay, why don't we chickadee trick ourselves before we rickety wreck ourselves? Why don't we put apples to apples, friendola? Why don't we see who sells?
again, you can be a good salesperson and you can be a horrible teacher. I haven't seen a multi-level marketing person do a great sales training on how to actually sell the product. I haven't. And I haven't watched everyone necessarily, but if you're talking about the actual skills, actual sales skills, you could be a good sales person and you could be a sucky teacher. And you could be a good motivational speaker and it could be bad in execution in terms of showing someone how to sell product because all these pluggable like plug and play systems, those don't necessarily work for everyone. And having a system is different than actually having skills to be able to move product yourself. I don't know.
More, friend, okay? Like apples to apples, who is the bad seller? Is it me or is it you? Okay. What about a bad person? Oh, that girl, she's a bad person. She's Hitler. Oh, I'm like, whoa, why did you just call yourself Hitler? See what I'm saying? See how you got to flip the script? When somebody tells me I'm Hitler, I'm like, oh my goodness, like, this is like the Third Reich. What is wrong with you? Why would you call yourself Hitler, friend? Why are you projecting on me with how much you hate yourself? I would never.
What? Why is she using Hitler? So she's the only one who gets to call someone a bad leader then because I've heard her call people that multiple times. People in her downline too. Yep. I've heard her say that too.
Call you Hitler because I know I'm not. Do you see what I'm saying? Guys, we got to switch this. We got to flip the script. Okay? People who say things about you are talking about themselves. And actually, it's been psychologically proven, which is kind of cool. I like the way science works. Literally, like when people, I'm going to go back.
I think part of this too, so Carol says it's sad and pathetic that JL needs her ego to constantly be stoked or stroked. That actually comes from lack of self-worth and being insecure. I also think on a public platform, in the public eye, because she is a public figure, thinking that you are this highly sought after person for training, you make a lot of money, you have a lot of cars, you have a lot of businesses, and to butt up against all of these people who have somewhat negative opinions about how you're running your business, I think it's difficult to reconcile that. It might be difficult for her to reconcile that. Having a system or being a good seller will not help when the customer pool is depleted. Yep.
Time. How many times have you like done something bad? Like, think about it. You were like a bad girl or a bad boy, and you like can't help yourself but like try to start putting blame on other people unintentionally. It almost like comes out of your mouth. Like you're like, what were you doing, you know, why did you stay late at work? Like, are you going out after and seeing people? Like these things come out of your mouth and you're kind of like, oh my gosh, like I was the one who did that last week. Oh, scared. You catch yourself projecting. Okay. So this is actually applicable in literally every situation. Okay.
So is she saying, and let me know if I get this wrong, is she saying that people who have negative things to say about her, that all that negativity is actually projection and nothing ever applies to her as a person? And across the board, she is saying that as a general rule, people who have negative things to say about you, it's all projection. Because I don't think that statistically can be the case for every situation. I don't think that mathematically works out. I think sometimes people have negative things to say because there's something potentially bad going on, or the behavior is the issue of the person who we're critiquing. I
Truly, though, when people say you're evil, when people say you're dumb, when people say you're not smart enough, when people say you're not capable, quit believing it and start realizing everything those people say about you is projecting on themselves. They're literally showing you who they are as a person. So instead of getting emotional about it, instead of getting upset about it, instead of thinking, what the heck is wrong with me? Start realizing they're
Yep. So what does that say about her blaming her team for failing, then taking credit when they're good? Ma'am, have several seats. Yep.
giving you a roadmap into what is wrong with them. So let's go into that. Guys, it's time to take some responsibility. Okay, we are not people, perfect people. We are not perfect humans. We are not perfect specimens. It's just the way of the world. We got to own our life a little more. Okay, we got to take responsibility for the things we're good at, the things we're bad at, the things we need to work on, the things that make us who we are. You need to own your life. Ownership. I've said it a million times before. I'm not a perfect person. I screw up all the time. I make mistakes all the time. I have to teach myself lessons daily because I screw up all of the time. I fail so fast. Oh, thank God. So I can just kind of get through it. But you've got to own your life. You've got to own your mistakes. You've got to live up to the things that you know you're not doing right. Okay. Own your life. Right alongside that, please start accepting responsibility. When you screw up, admit it.
This is very confusing because she just said that people who have critiques of you are just projecting. And is she trying to balance it out, or did she just like not script out this podcast well? Because it's very confusing to listen to her kind of go all over the place when she's communicating. Calling out someone's BS is not being negative or projecting one's own negativity. It's just calling out BS, and the perpetrators don't like being called out. I think that's fair, and I think that's accurate.
When you're bad at something, know you're bad at it instead of trying to be good at it. Why don't you get help? Accept responsibility for the things in your life that you wish you were better at or that you're currently failing at and figure it out. But don't project blame on other people. People go, oh, here's one. Here's one I get a lot. Oh my gosh, so annoying. My team is terrible. My team won't work. My team is inconsistent. My team is not working hard. My team is so lazy. Oh my gosh. My team, they stopped working. They haven't even started working this month. My team is horrible. And I just want to be like, okay, friend. So what I'm going to need you to do is sit down and look in a mirror. Are you lazy? Are you working every day? Are you plugged in? Are you inspiring people? Are you showing up each day? Are you playing full out? Are you lazy? Then shut up about your team and accept the fact that the reason your team is not working is because you don't work.
It might also be the compensation structure in multi-level marketing. If you can't teach people how to sell the product and you get more money by recruiting, and there's a limited number of recruitment, and you already have people who are top of the pyramid performers benefiting off the downline, it makes sense that someone might be frustrated that they are not making traction and being able to make enough money. I don't know. I think she's telling on herself a little bit. Lynn, you're right. I think she is.
Ownership, Jocko Willink. Guys, come on. There's no such thing as a bad team. There's only such things as bad leaders. If your team's not moving, if your team's not growing, if your team's dying, if your team is shrinking, if your team is literally shriveling away at the bottom, it isn't your team's fault. It's your fault. You don't have systems. You're not following up with them. You're not leading them the way you probably told them you would lead them. Let's accept some responsibility, okay? It's not your team's fault they don't know how to sell yet. It's not your team's fault they don't know how to recruit yet. It's not your team's fault they don't show up at the events because they don't know about the events because you're not going to the events either. Accept some responsibility for the decisions you've been making in your own business. Teams follow leaders. You're not selling. You're not leading from the front. You're not running hard. You're not showing them.
Lynn, have you seen her kind of PR campaign the last few weeks after she said that she was going to drop her training? And then, let me move back this. and then she's been showing all of the frontline training that she's giving. It's interesting because it's creating kind of a competition within her own team, because if you're on the outside and if you were thinking about joining with the Empire, and before, if you had joined anyone in the Empire, you had access to Jessie Lee, but now only if you sign up under Jessie Lee Ward do you have access to that training. And she said that she's training her whole team sometimes, but it's not the same. I don't think it's the same as it was before. I thought she just said no one can call you a bad leader. Yeah, it's very confusing. It's just and she contradicts herself often. And again, is it because she's just creating sound bites? Is it because she doesn't write an outline and it isn't vetted, and so she is saying things that she's just trying to make sound good and it's competing with what she said before? Or is it truly her contradicting herself just to, I don't know, just to be able to say whatever she wants? Yeah, it's wild.
What they can be, you're not inspiring them to be better, you're not aspiring to be better. Well, then why on God's green earth would you expect them to do any such thing? Come on, man. Accept responsibility. Same thing with anything else in your life. You're not being a good person, you're not showing up, you're not going to the gym, you're blaming, oh, it's my diet, nope, that diet doesn't work. Let me tell you about that diet. Nope, that don't work. Nope. You need to make sure you're eating a balanced amount of carbohydrates and fats. This whole keto thing is BS. Okay, then why does everyone who actually eats keto full, looking like not even like a snack, looking like a full buffet, straight up 5-course meal, looking like entrees? Okay.
I don't think that's necessarily accurate. And again, I thought that her product Improve It, not her product, but the product that she sells was supposed to help people lose fat. And it doesn't necessarily seem like, and I say this loosely, I say this only because of what the company promises with their product and what the recruits promise. If you drink ketones, that you too can have this incredible fat burning whatever. It doesn't look like across the board that the product does what it says it's supposed to do. And again, I'm not picking on their appearance. I'm saying that it is a contradiction. It contradicts what the product says it's going to do. And again, she's using keto as an example, but with her product, you don't have to do the diet. And I know this podcast isn't necessarily about Prove It or what she sells in her multi-level marketing company. It's just an interesting point that there seems to be real life contradictions in her own life, and that go against what she's speaking about on her podcast. I saw in her stories last week that she has an announcement. Seems she's leaning towards coaching. Yep. And I don't know if you caught this. She said that she was getting paid to coach, and she made it seem like she hadn't been getting paid to coach before. And I know when she's spoken at Eric Worre's events that he has given her like jewelry and gifts and stuff. But she said years ago that she would, because of all the things that he's done for her, she doesn't ever expect anything or payment or whatever from him, because she just wants to give back. And it seems like she's been doing all of these speaking things for free up to this point. I lost a lot of weight by myself by making my own keto thing. Taking ketones will just give you a false positive on the PE test, ketosis tests. And I think, yeah, and I definitely think that, and Erin mentions it on her channel, Erin B's. She's going to be linked in the description below. She was on Jessie Lee's team, and she said the product formulation back in the beginning was amazing, and then it changed. And it's just interesting to know. You have to go listen to it on her podcast or on her channel, but on her YouTube channel. Here we go.
I would like to know. So does it really just not work, or are you really not accepting responsibility for the fact that you eat keto all day, go home, eat lollipops, ding dongs, and hostess cakes? Okay? Come on, sit yourself down. Accept responsibility. That's for everything. My body's not cheap.
Again, she has said in the past and that you don't have to eat keto to have her products work for you. So it's just weird to use this example in her podcast. It's just really weird.
Fast enough. Well, have you heard of the gymnasium, friend?
Ooh, rude.
It works. It really does. It's not a maybe it works for some people. It's one of those things where works for everyone. Yep, works for everyone. So let's start accepting responsibility for our life. Let's start accepting responsibility for our bodies. Let's start accepting responsibility for our businesses. You are literally in control of everything.
Yeah, so Karina said Erin is the best. She also did a video about how her metabolism was affected by ketones and stuff. And I think that's one of her most recent videos other than, like, her live, so definitely go check that out if you don't already follow her.
You want if you would just accept that responsibility. And that, for some people, like with my mindset, is so liberating. Because for me, when I said that, you know what I felt? I felt like this wave of calm wash over me, because I remembered that, you know what? You don't need all of these other people to guide you and direct you into the life you want. Everything you need is already inside of you, but you need to learn how to take it. You need to learn to take.
I don't agree with this. I don't think that everything that is already inside of you. So there's some things that you have to learn that is not already inside of you. Like, that's why you go to school to learn. Like, that's why you take other courses to be able to become proficient in something else. Like, I don't know. Maybe I'm taking it to sorry, I'm not sure why my thing is strobing. I know that irritates some people who have light issues, so but this light isn't strobing, so I'm not sure. Okay. Let me fix my I was not moving my stuff when I had someone on here. Let's see. There we go. Nope. False. Let me just do this. Introducing ketones to your system without changing your diet will not put your body in ketosis. Also, being in ketosis over a long period of time can have very dangerous effects on your body. And yes, from what I understand, ketosis was specifically created for people with certain medical conditions to help keep those things under control. I want to say it was epilepsy. I don't remember. But there were some specific, like, medical conditions that eating a keto diet really helps with, and I don't remember what it is off the top of my head. Oh yeah, she drinks them like 4 or 5 times a day. Okay, cool. Hey, Janet.
Take responsibility. You need to learn to be the one to take that, leash, if you will. Day, map out your day, know what you need to get done. You need to be disciplined enough to say, my body isn't the way I want it to be. Here's what I'm going to eat. Here's how I'm going to work out. Here's what I'm going to do. Here's what I'm going to stop putting in my body. I'm going to go. If you're
Sorry, let me see if it'll I'm going to go back. I'm going to go back 15 seconds and figure it out. Let me pull it out and put it back in. Share. I'm not sure why I'm having so many audio issues. I have Oh, can you hear me now? Okay, I'm gonna add this back in. Let me know if you can hear this. I rewound it a little bit.
All of these other people to guide you and direct you into the life you want. Everything you need is already inside of you, but you need.
Can y'all hear her now? Okay. And y'all can hear Jessie Lee? Okay. I'm going to assume you can hear Jessie Lee.
Learn how to take it. You need to learn to take responsibility. You need to learn to be the one to take that, leash, if you will, and drag your little happy butt along on your own. Okay.
Her, dang, I'm not sure what's going on. Let me look on my phone and see what the issue is and see if I can fix it. Whoops. I think it should be okay now. I'm not sure. Okay. All right. Great.
Okay. All right. Next thing you got to do, and it kind of goes right along with that, is you've got to learn to master yourself. You need to be the boss of you. You need to be disciplined enough to sit down at the beginning of every day, map out your day, know what you need to get done. You need to be disciplined enough to say, my body isn't the way I want it to be. Here's what I'm going to eat. Here's how I'm going to work out. Here's what I'm going to do. Here's what I'm going to stop putting in my body. I'm going to start drinking water. I'm going to go, go, go. If you're broke, you need to master the plan to make money. Not today, not just tomorrow, not just for a week. You've got to master yourself. You've got to absolutely execute every single last detail masterfully until you get your life together. You see some people who are super successful.
How does this make sense for her podcast to have this part in the episode when she was saying that people who have negative things to say about you are just projecting? Is she trying to balance it out by saying that if there are things that you need to fix, you need to take ownership over them? I'm really confused because there was not a transition. There didn't seem to be a clear transition between those two ideas, and them coexisting next to each other doesn't mean that it's easy for someone to connect that those two ideas were supposed to go together, if that makes sense. And it might just mean not being smart enough to understand what she's saying. And I'm sure that's probably what she's going to say, but it would have been one thing to say, if you're not doing anything wrong and people take issue with you, they're projecting on you. However, take ownership of the things that you know you need to fix. That would have been an interesting that would have been a more clear idea. I think it might have been more genuine for her to say, if there is a resounding number of people speaking up and you're not aware of something you're doing wrong, can you take some self-reflection and see if there's any truth in what they're saying? And that probably would get exhausting if people were just picking on you, like on those get off my internet threads or the Reddit threads, and people are just hating just to hate. I'm not saying that, but there are some points of contention that people have that are valuable feedback. So I don't know. I'm always surprised. Again, this is in the top 100 on the entrepreneur. It's either the business or the entrepreneurship podcast list, and it doesn't seem like she prepares for these at all. Maybe she does, and maybe she started doing it, but this is 4 episodes in from the very beginning in 2018, I think, and I don't know. I just don't like it. Love that, Lynn. As we say in Norway, I'm more confused than a fart in a wicker chair. Oh, that's amazing. That's amazing. Not everyone can be wrong but her. Yeah, and it's and again, I do want to address the nuanced idea that a group of people coming together and not liking someone can be inaccurate in terms of people getting influenced because they're part of a group and not logically thinking through if they agree or don't agree with all of them siding against one person just because someone in the group sided against that one person. I think that's dangerous. However, there are specific things about Jessie Lee Ward that I have issues with. Unethical business practices, unethical recruiting, um, the things that she said to people on her team, from a leadership perspective, I'm not on board with that. The not encouraging her team to stay compliant with the FDA and within prove its contract about what you can and cannot say that the product does for you. It and again, a lot of people on our team do the before and after photos, and there's no you're supposed to, according to Prove It, put results may vary. There's like a little thing you're supposed to put with every photo, the before and after photos. And I don't know. That seems like a leadership thing, and because you're not I've seen Jessie Lee do before and after photos, and she doesn't do that. What is that called? It's not a caption. It's a disclaimer. Like the disclaimer. So other people are seeing her not do the disclaimer, and I think that's on her. I don't think that's accurate, DeeCee. I think people come together over one common cause, but they all have. Yeah, I'm saying that there have been times where groupthink I say groupthink loosely, not in a cult way, but um like in school, if someone's getting bullied and the kids in that self-preservation kind of mindset where they join in or they don't speak up because they don't want to be picked on. I'm saying there are situations where there is maybe not enough attention to thinking about the I don't know. I'm not sure what I'm trying to say, but I'm saying that just because there's a lot of people speaking up not doesn't necessarily in all cases make it um the truth, if that makes sense.
Like, gosh, like her life is just spinning. It's like a flywheel. It's exactly like a flywheel. You ever seen a flywheel? They take forever to get going. You're like, go, 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 go. And then one day, once that flywheel spins, you better bet it goes into momentum. That's like everything. That's why the first sale is the hardest sale. I'm going to say that again. The first sale is the hardest sale. If you got that first sale, do not be discouraged just because you don't have 1,000 sales yet. You get the first sale, easy. You get that win, celebrate it, feel good.
She just said the first sale was the hardest sale, and then she said the first sale is easy. Okay.
About it and go get your second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth. Do not stop. Go, go, go. Master yourself. Master that feeling. Chase your dreams. The first one's the hardest. The first day of the diet is the hardest. The first day at the gym hurts the worst. The first day at the new job is the most awkward. Okay. All right. So master yourself. Take control of your life. All right. Seriously, take back your life. Don't identify with what all these people who are talking poop about you are projecting on you. It's not about you. It ain't about you. They call you fat, tell them to check a mirror. They call you ugly, tell them to look in a mirror. They tell you you're not successful, tell them to look in a bank account because their bank account's probably looking like a phone number. I'm talking 911, not 8675309. Okay? Take back your own life. Be in control of.
Again, I don't. So she's only willing to take critique from someone who has as much or more money than she does. Okay. I don't necessarily have to share the same experiences to be able to offer feedback or to be able to see like, hey, oh, something doesn't seem right here. I think that's a I don't know how to describe it. I don't think that that's accurate. Ugh, could you please not to try not to contradict yourself in the same sentence? Yeah. Sorry, Jan, I missed this. Like in the Kiwi's Avengers Reddit post, there's over 3,000 people in there, and everyone has come together over their dislike over a certain person, and they all have their reasons. Okay. Like someone is because of anti-MLM, and someone else is there because she is vile and has a puppy meal, and then someone might be there because right. Okay, that's clear for sure. Thanks for adding that information, Janet. Not everyone has to have the same experience to offer feedback and critical. Yep. Yeah, and again, it's that same logic to say like, oh, if you haven't experienced this, you can't speak to it. And it's like in some situations I can read about things and know that like I have asthma, so and I know that smoking can cause very negative health effects on people, and it's also would be horrible for me. I don't have to smoke to know that it will be horrible for me. That's been like shown through studies and stuff like that. But with not knowing that smoking impacts, for me personally, smoking impacts like your lungs. I already have bad lungs. That doesn't make sense for me to try smoking just to feel like so that I can actually know how bad it is. Like I don't have to experience it to know that I shouldn't be doing that personally based on my health. I work as a mental health peer counselor. My job is my lived experience. Just because I don't have the exact lived experience as my clients doesn't mean I'm not able to help them. I think that's a really insightful point, Carol. Oh, you're gonna have to post picture. You're gonna have to post pictures to your story. Karina has lots of plants and she's making planters and stuff. Yeah, you don't have to do heroin to know it's a killer.
Yourself. Do everything you want and do it with reckless, abandon. Go out there and just win, guys. And don't be a victim. Don't listen to these people who are telling you, I don't know about that Jessie Lee girl. I've heard some things. I heard she's volatile. I heard she's wild. I heard that she was da-da-da. I don't care what you say about me. Guys, that's the whole point of this podcast. It isn't about me. It's not about me when they tell me that I'm crazy. It's not about me when they tell me that I can't build again.
I've never said that Jessie Lee Ward's crazy. I don't know if these are imagined things that she's bringing up to help her figure out why people are having issues. I've never said she's crazy. I don't agree with most of her business practices. I don't agree with the negative way how she treats people. And that is just from watching stories. And I'll give you an example. She was doing a live and she was basically saying that the dog walker was late, and it was coming across as really negative about the dog walker. And as soon as the dog walker and her kid knocked on the door and came in, Jessie Lee's demeanor completely changed, and she was really nice to them, and she just a few moments before, had been making snide remarks about, again, them being late and everything. And then she might have even said, I have the live where she was doing that. And that seems like a two-faced thing to do. I know some people do that, but I don't agree with how she treated someone who is offering a service that she's paid for, to bash them when they're not in the room, and then when they show up, she's really nice to them.
About me when they say I'm crazy. It's not about me when they say that I'm, I don't even know what they say about me anymore, man. I stopped listening because it's not about me. Actually, I do remember one. Some girl said my butt's not that nice. And I thought to myself for a second, I said, is she crazy? Does she?
Who cares? The issues that I have is not with her physical appearance. It's not with she, again, the only one specifically that she brought up is someone saying that they didn't like her butt. That overwhelmingly is not the issue that people have with multi-level marketing, with the compensation plan, with how Jessie Lee, again, from what we can see, and we see a lot because she shares a lot of what she's doing in her business on social media. We have a lot of saved videos that she has saved herself on her platforms, where we can see and hear things that she has said in that way that she wants to present herself to the world. And we then have opinions about it. Okay, that's fine that you don't like people having negative opinions about you, but it's not from lack of content that you provided us. And again, I think the important part of going back and listening to her podcast is so that in depth you can hear what she has said, how she believes, things that she has said herself, things that she believes and has said, stuff that contradicts what she's doing now. And within this episode, she has said things that contradict herself already within this episode. So make your own opinion for yourself, but it seems like there's issues so far, and we're only 4 episodes in. I've called her wild before, but not crazy. JL, we don't need to hear things about you. We can hear it from you directly. You're your own evidence. Yeah, and she's posted stuff for us. You sure it ain't about you, bro? Doesn't the world revolve around her, according to her? Didn't she just say that if people say stuff like that they're just projecting? Why should it matter now just because it's something somebody said about her? Yeah. I mean, it comes with the territory. Being a public figure isn't all good all the time, especially if you're always doing sketchy shit. People form opinions from someone's words and actions. I know I do. So if you don't like my opinion about yourself, then change your words and your behavior. Yeah, and I think that she has said that she has a limited space to hear people having negative opinions about herself. And she wants other people to not listen to negative opinions either. Ugh.
Glasses? Should I get on zennyoptical.com and mail her some glasses? Because I think girlfriend's got vision issues. And then I looked at her butt and I said, oh, heavens, here she goes. She's
y'all called
projecting.
It in the comments.
Okay, guys.
Y'all just called it in the comments. So someone said her butt wasn't that good, and then she went and looked at the girl's picture, and she's like, oh, well, she's projecting. Come on.
All right. It literally is applicable to every situation in your life. So before you start getting down on yourself, before you start crying yourself to sleep at night, before you quit your dream because somebody told you you're not good enough, make sure they're not just projecting their garbage on you. Because I will tell you, 9.9 times out of 10, it is exactly what's happening. They are negatively projecting their own thoughts, feelings, emotions, beliefs, all of it right onto you like a garbage hose, blah, all over you. So instead of accepting that and instead of accepting their truth as your truth, make sure you're in control of your own reality. You master your own life. You accept responsibility and the choice to have the responsibility to run your own life. Take no victims, okay? Especially yourself, because you are not a victim. And go and charge recklessly into the life of your dreams, not worrying about what they say about you, not worrying about their lack of confidence, and building up your own. So, my name's Jessie Lee. You can call me Boss Lee. If you haven't already subscribed to this, please make sure you slam that subscribe button. Would love reviews. I'm going to start doing fans of the week starting this week. So make sure you write a review. I will make sure to read your review live. Thank you for sharing with your friends. Thank you for getting the word out. You guys rock my world, and I am projecting that on you 100% of the time. Have an amazing day, and I will talk to you soon.
Well, what do we think? I don't know about you, but when I have edited podcasts for my clients, I know she records and posts straight to Spotify and Apple Podcasts. And again, this is just a technical pickiness. Why isn't the audio cut to remove the gulps and the misspeaks? And she doesn't have very many. She's a very good off-the-cuff speaker. I say that not for content, but for speaking without filler words, not having super long pauses. I have long pauses. So when I'm recording a video, when I've posted it to YouTube, I will take those out. I will take out my ums and likes. In live stream, I've tried to get better at just not saying them, but it's like that. My little vocal tick I have right there, I do it because of anxiety from speaking, and it's a harder habit to break. I take those out when I pre-record videos. In a podcast, you don't even have to edit the video. You can just cut the audio up. I know she doesn't. I know she posts it straight from her phone, and it doesn't seem like there's any editing. I don't know why she wouldn't. I think I have a headache. Wait, my ears are already bleeding, Karina. My poor eardrums. Yeah. Yeah, and so that intro video we watched, I added music to it. I had to turn the volume down 50% before I exported it. And I know my music was still too loud on top of it, but I also had to correct it because whoever recorded it for her, there was a buzz in the background too. Bullshit. I don't believe in that whole projecting bullshit. I know I've never done that. Like, WTF do I get from projecting? It seems dumb. Yeah, I'm not sure. I don't know if that's a psychological thing that people have picked up on. I don't know. I don't know why that's the reason that someone would have an issue that they're just projecting. Karina, I've already popped pain meds. I think you're very comfortable to listen to, DeeCee, and I think you're very thank you. I appreciate that. I just said I do, being a newer creator, I do go back and I try to go back and listen to my videos, because if I don't like what I hear, I need to know so I can try to get better in the future. I don't enjoy listening to myself say, and like, and the little clicks that I have, I try to slowly but surely get better as I stream more, but it's just a process. Yeah, take some Tylenol, everybody, or some headache medicine. Next week's podcast, I think, is longer. Oh no, it's shorter next week. So we might do 2 next week. I'm gonna go ahead and yeah, are y'all liking listening to her podcast in this format? Even though it's like a shorter video, and some of her podcasts are gonna be better than others. It's also I'm sick, so I think that I didn't provide as good of a commentary as I could have this time, but it's been interesting to me a little bit. I hope it's been interesting for y'all so far. Um, and I'm gonna keep doing it on Sundays once a week. So hopefully, I think the whole projecting bullshit is an excuse because they don't like what they hear. And instead of asking questions or taking a step back to see why, they find an excuse. I think that's pretty accurate, Janet. I like listening to these. It's interesting to see what she says in previous podcasts. And again, there was also something she said several times when she's been on interviews on Instagram and even in her own stories that people are taking her out of context, that they clip her to make her sound worse than she is. And then when those people find her account, they allegedly or supposedly really like her because we took her so far out of context that we made her appear like a person that she wasn't. And I do watch a lot of Jessie Lee Ward content. I followed her. I've been following her since 2014 when I was in my first multi-level marketing company. I did used to like her. I know some people didn't like her from the beginning. I did. And she has changed a lot over the years. And I have not listened to any creators what am I trying to say? Clip her, respond to a certain clip, and then do something else. Where they're either responding to a reel or a shorter video, and it seems like they've done the whole clip in its entirety. And so I, I don't know what creator she was talking about, because I know when Savannah respond did a video about her like a year ago or maybe a year and a half ago, Jessie Lee was in the comment section and told him to not blur her face. And in that video, Savannah didn't take Jessie Lee out of context. She showed the whole video. Hey, Emion. I'm a fan of this DeeCee. It really highlights the difference between them and now, and also shows that it's still just filler and bull poo. Yep. Thanks, Janet. I've watched her videos that she posted on her Facebook, and it's still the same. Nothing's out of context. I agree. I've never seen, and that does that mean that that doesn't exist somewhere? I I can't say that for sure, but the bigger creators like Chelsea, Savannah, Aaron, I think Julie Joe's even done videos on her. I don't know who else, and I think maybe Hannah Thaler's done videos on her. I've never seen them clip her. And Ava, I know, clipped her. I sent Ava the Ukraine video where Jessie Lee Ward was saying that Putin was on her side, and I sent that entire video to prove it because it was horrible what Jessie Lee said, in my opinion. And Prove It didn't do one thing about it. They said they were opening some kind of case against her, and nothing happened. Nothing changed. And you know, it is discouraging to hear what she said and wish harm on an entire country just because her ex-boyfriend was Ukrainian. And it was horrible. And it doesn't just make Jessie Lee look bad, it makes Prove It look bad because they are allowing her contract to remain in good standing when she goes and says stuff like this. And I I couldn't I was shocked when she said that, and I'm glad that Ava made the video on it, and she did just take that one part of the video because it was like a 2.5 hour long. It might have been 2.5 hours. It was a very long live. So I've seen that, but Jessie Lee Ward said those words. She said those words about Putin. She said those words about the Ukraine and about her ex-boyfriend. And it was just horrible. Yeah, so she said, and I have the live, when she was doing the 90-day run, she was talking about lots of stuff that she did on her tea times that she used to have. And she was talking about her ex-boyfriend. And I guess I could just pull it up. I might pull it up next week. And she was joking around saying that Putin was on her side because her boyfriend was Ukrainian and his life expectancy basically tanked because of what was going on in Ukraine. And it was horrible. It was just horrible. And I sent it in to Prove It, and I said, "Look, I'm not interested in spreading this around on the internet. I don't know who else has this video because it wasn't still live on her page. I have the whole email I sent them, and they didn't do anything about it." And then I was like, "Okay, screw it." So Ava did a video on it, and I don't know. How can you have those kind of negative thoughts towards an entire country just because your ex-boyfriend's Ukrainian? It was just distasteful to me. They refuse to, so she can't say that they are taking her out of context. Yep. It's not just what Jessie Lee says, it's her narcissism and abusive language, regardless of whether anyone takes it out of context or not. Yeah, I can't say that creators haven't, but the ones I watch, they don't. And I think they specifically don't to avoid situations like this, to say, here's what they say. This is the most contentious point of the conversation. And I think it's the most contentious, but you can also have a different opinion or come to different conclusions because I have shown it to you in the context of the entire clip. And I think that's more of a valuable, more ethical way to do commentary. Yeah. When she describes it as snipping her videos, it comes across as someone editing something together to make a point or change the point of her statement, when in reality, it's probably just taking a section of the video to show what she said. Yep. I mean, she's Jesus and Aaron is obviously Judas, so I guess it checks out. Yeah, if you all haven't seen that live or that Aaron did, you should go check that out. Aaron probably has the most content on Jessie Lee Ward and is one of because she was one of the top leaders in the empire and Jessie Lee stayed at Aaron's house. She's kind of confirmed some of the things that people in the creator community have come to those conclusions based off of what the videos are, but Aaron has had real life experience with her, so definitely go check out her videos if you haven't. Exactly, Lynn. Trying to say it was like what NBC did in the Amber Heard. Oh yeah. Yep. That was a great comparison, Janet. I can't believe that NBC did that either. It's just wild. It's just wild. And again, it's that same thing. If y'all watch the trial in the Amber Heard and Johnny Depp trial, I had it playing when I was at my desk working, and I was listening to Emily D. Baker, so I would listen to, like, pretty much the whole workday from when it started to when it closed, and when you watch 6 weeks of trial, and then to see the stark contrast of, um, what happened after the trial, and even the reports, the different articles that were posted being, and again, you can have your own opinions, I get that, but when you listen to all the evidence across 6 weeks, and then you see what was getting reported that was still continuously, um, saying things were going on in court that weren't because you were listening to it with, like, a lawyer commentating on it, and then in the NBC interview when they cut the original and changed it for the longer interview, it was wild. She and Jessie Lee Ward were friends, and her testimonies on Jessie Lee Ward are the most trusted due to that. Yep. Agree, Emion. Yeah, Emily, if y'all don't follow Emily D. Baker, she's the best. She is the why I have the Emily rules in my description. She does not politics. She does pop culture and the law on her channel, and she's great. So, she kind of blew up during the trial. Like was at a little under 200,000, and then she's at 660 something thousand followers now. And she's an empathetic, intelligent creator. She's a former assistant district attorney, and she's still a licensed lawyer in California, but she lives in Tennessee now. And she also covered the Britney trial, and Jamie Spears is making me so mad, but yes, none of the fuckery. I'm watching Emily's videos now. Well, not right now, but I didn't watch her videos during the trial, but I'm catching up. Yeah, and I feel like, in my opinion, Emily, I really value her critique in how she moderates her chat and moderates the conversation. They do talk about, like, what they see in their experiences and what they hear, and they don't cross the line into disparaging people, and I really like that. Even though they don't really mince words on her channel, but I really like her. Yeah, she makes learning the law easy to understand. Exactly. Yep. Well, I've had a blast with you guys. I have some Zoom calls I'm probably gonna live react to this week. I'm gonna try to make my Young Living video. Law in the US is so different from law in Norway, and I'm really interested in law. So it's very educational to learn about US law. That's awesome. Yeah, and Emily makes it very easy to understand. And she explains it without dumbing it down and making you feel stupid. And I really like that about her. Did you see Friday Nights about Britney? And I can't believe, but I shouldn't be surprised that the California bar was in it with Girardi. Yeah, if y'all don't, so Tom Girardi, he is married to one of the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, and he was also the lawyer that in the Aaron Brockovich movie, that lawyer was based off of Tom Girardi, and he had been, I guess, buying off or bribing. There was, like, so much corruption in the California bar with him, and he was stealing money from his victims and living a luxurious lifestyle for his wife out of the victim funds. And it's just horrible. It is horrible. So Emily has been covering all of that. She's incredible. She's a great creator. She's one of my favorite people to listen to. I am officially back. I just taken a break last week from YouTube, so I'm gonna hopefully get to team up with some people again, and have conversations. And if you ever want to have a conversation with me on the channel, I would love to talk to you. I've talked to Avery and Karina and Kayla and Kirsty and who else? Avery. I think I said Avery. But I like talking. Oh, and I've Kate with her Monate story. So I stream by myself, but I also like streaming with other people. And so if you've never ever streamed on YouTube before and you want to get on, I'd love to have you. Bye, Janet. Yes, Karina, I'll message you. I have some Zoom calls that you might be interested in. And Avery, I love going live with you. So thanks so much for hanging out with me. I will see you next time. Have a great rest of your day whenever you watch this. And replay crew, y'all are the best. Thanks for hanging out in the live chat as well. Bye.